Hi, I'm Mark. I travelled halfway around the world and hired this camper van. Now we're travelling Japan and baking in our car.
Welcome back to another episode of Baked in My Car. Thanks for joining us on the next step of our Japan adventure in our K-Truck camper van. In the last episode, we picked up our van from the centre of Tokyo and then drove down some scenic mountain passes on the way to Hakone. While we were there, we rode a swan boat, checked out some shrines, tried some delicious konbini food, and enjoyed a few beverages with the sunset. Now it's the next day and we're continuing our search for the perfect campsite overlooking Mount Fuji. Last episode, we explored some convenience stores and microwaved some food, but today we're going to try our hand at some cooking in the van. This brings us to our first stop, the supermarket. For everybody else shopping there that day, the Aeon Max Value Express was just a regular suburban supermarket. But for us, it was an exciting adventure full of tasty snacks and beverages. After a while exploring the shelves, we found exactly what we were looking for, thinly sliced Wagyu beef. We picked up a few other supplies and then used the self-service checkout, which conveniently had an English option. We went back to the car, put everything in the fridge, and then it was time to hit the road. We left the supermarket behind and continued on our way west across the Izu Peninsula. Before long, the mountains and forests turned into seaside towns and we could tell that we were getting closer to our destination, Cape Bosse. We were now driving along the west coast of the Izu Peninsula, overlooking Saruga Bay. Saruga Bay is the deepest bay in all of Japan at 2,500 meters. We've come here because it's directly south of Mount Fuji, which means on a clear day, you can get a perfect view. After a quick search on the map, we found this coin-operated 24-hour car park directly south of Mount Fuji at Ose Beach. This car park was a little more expensive than the other places that we'd stayed, but for the view, we figured it'd be worth it. During the summer months, this beach is really popular with scuba divers and swimmers, but as summer had ended 2 days before, it was completely empty. We relaxed for the afternoon, went for a bit of an explore, then watched the sunset, hoping that Mount Fuji would appear from behind the clouds. Now, it wouldn't be an episode of Baked in My Car without a bit of cooking, and today we're making a Japanese beef rice bowl. Here are the ingredients you're going to need. Here's a list you can screenshot for later. We were using hired cooking gear, so we lined our pan with foil. We did this so we wouldn't have to do any unnecessary cleaning. If I was at home in the FJ, I wouldn't have bothered. After that was done, we got our cooker ready. It was explicitly mentioned in our rental agreement that we shouldn't cook meat inside the van, so we're cooking outside. It was a small pan, so I made sure to only put a few pieces on at a time and kept the heat high to make sure everything stayed nice and crispy. The cuts of meat were super thin, so they cooked really quickly. Now, if I'm being honest, outside in the wind with a tiny gas cooker and an aluminium pan probably wasn't the best way to cook this beef, but it got the job done. Before we knew it, the last few pieces of Wagyu were in the pan and smelling delicious. After that was done, it was time to cook the rice. We cheated a little bit and used the microwave in the van and this sachet of rice, but if you were doing it at home, you could just as easily boil up some rice in a pot. After the rice was cooked, it was time to plate everything up. First thing we're going to do is add the rice to our bowls. The rice serves as the base of the meal, and as we add the other ingredients, it's going to soak up all the flavours. Then we're going to chuck in some cabbage. This will add a bit of crunch. Now it's time for the star of the show. Now take the Wagyu meat that we cooked earlier and put it on top of the rice. It should look something like this. Once you're done serving the meat, garnish the whole meal with spring onion. While we were in the supermarket, we found this packet of spring onion that was pre-sliced and ready to go. Now for extra flavour, we're going to add a yakiniku sauce. This is made from a base of soy sauce, sugar, mirin and sake, with added flavour from garlic, ginger and sesame. And after that, all that's left to do is admire your creation. All cooked in your hire car. The next morning, we woke up to another beautiful day on the Izu Peninsula, and then we were greeted by a perfect view, Mount Fuji. After a bit of breakfast, we hopped in the van and continued on our adventure. For those who are wondering, it cost us about 1,600 yen or 16 Australian dollars to stay in this car park for the night. We stayed here in September just after the end of the summer holidays and it was super quiet. If you came here in the middle of summer, I'm not sure if you'd be able to camp here. Thank you for watching this part of our Japan Campervan adventure. If you like this video, make sure to go check out my other ones. Normally I explore Australia in my FJ Cruiser and bake tasty food along the way.
And there you have it, a delicious Japanese rice bowl, all baked in your car. Thank you for watching Baked in My Car. Make sure to like and subscribe and to follow us on Instagram @BakedInMyCar.